Right, the show is in your hands, so let's get stuck in. Ready for our first question, girls?
Let's do it.
Right, our first question comes from Miranda on Twitter, and she asks, what's the one thing that causes the biggest row with your partners? Oh, my God, I can't believe this. When you think about what you were like this morning, she's been raging.
Oh, my God,
Don't get
Linda's
me started.
rage.
I know, yeah, we've been married 31 years. We're not going to make it to 32, I'm telling you now. So I woke up this morning, 6:30, you get up, because you get picked up at 7:30. The house was freezing. The patio door in our bedroom was wide open. The heating was off and there was no hot water. So I might give you some pegs for your noses, girls. But honestly, it was so cold.
But this is
because Mark turned it off.
He turned it off.
Oh,
He
no.
likes it cold. I like it hot.
But how
I'm
cold
like
does he
Marilyn
want it?
Monroe,
It's
so I
like
like it hot.
-2 last night.
No, exactly. It was absolutely freezing. So
Well, I mean, I just couldn't believe it
wasn't happy.
because I was walking down the corridor and just did a casual, you know, how are you, Linda? And actually, it's been all morning, the rage. So honestly, Mark, she's serious. She's been talking divorce this morning. Denise, do you have thermostat wars?
Constantly. And the thing is, you know, I'm a Geordie, so obviously it's illegal to wear a coat up there, so I'm used to it not being boiling. But the thing is, we had a boiler, our boiler broke recently, and so we got the boiler guy out. And so then I was at the thermostat turning it up to 23, and then I've come in, and then it was absolutely freezing. What Lincoln had done, had got it all set up on his phone that he could control it from outside so that he'd let me think that it was on 23. And all he ever says is, well, where
Is he there?
All he ever says is wear warm clothes in the house. And look what...
Lincoln!
Sort it out, Lincoln.
Go away! I don't see why you should wear woolly jumpers and scarves in your own house in the middle of spring.
That's next level, isn't it, Stacey?
Not when you can have it at like 30 degrees and pretend you're in the Bahamas. Yes. I don't see why you wouldn't do that.
Is Joe like that?
No, Joe is like that. I think men, I hate to generalise, prefer it colder.
It's loose women.
I do think they prefer it colder because we fight over the temperature all the time. But my big pet hate is the fact that we've got a boiler that only has... You know what it's like. It fills up, it gets your hot water, and everyone could economically have a shower out of that hot water. Or, if Joe Swash gets in there first, absolutely no one gets a shower because he stands in there and God knows what he's doing. But he stands in there. Stop it. He stands in there for ages taking a shower. So by the time I get in there, I think it's hot and immediately it runs cold. Crazy. And I just think to myself, wash your armpits, wash your... You know, and get out. Like, what's your problem?
But have you, because Stacey, we know Stacey's a whiz with all things DIY and everything. Have you got a quick tip on how she could...
Denise,
how she could get
as
around
I was
the problem
listening
with
to you
it?
then, I'm not being funny, there will be an override on your boiler. You don't have to go to the thermostat, go straight to the boiler, open up the little square box next to the boiler that will have your hot water on one side, your heating on the other, and override it and just say on at this time. You can put your own timings in.
Hang on.
You can...
So listen, if you at home have got the same problem with your hubby...
Override, and download the app yourself. Don't let them hog the app.
Right, are we ready for the next question?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, right, this is from Sheena, and she contacted us on Facebook, and Sheena says, I'd like to know how you really feel when you disagree on something on the panel and how you manage to get over it and move on. Stacey.
Oh, you looked at me, I was like, Well, we disagree all the time, but I think it's a huge misconception that when you're friends with somebody, you agree with everything that they believe.
Yeah. Probably not healthy to have a friend that you agree with everything on, is it?
I just don't think most humans have different perspectives on life. They have different life experiences. And, yeah, there's definitely subjects that we all disagree on, but it's never personal. It's just we understand and appreciate each other's opinions. And because we are actually friends, like, we actually like each other, believe it or not. We go out together, we go away together.
We respect each other as well.
100%.
So we respect each other's opinions on things.
I think that's an important thing, actually, Sheena, because I think we know, like, us four sat here now, we know that whatever we're going to say, there is a real respect there at the same
Yeah.
time, and I think that's the thing that maybe people don't know. So we feel safe to say.
Yeah, and the
whatever
other thing is, we know that if I say something wrong, which I've done quite a lot of the time, that you two and Denise at home has got my back. You'll help me out.
In fact, what you don't realise is, Linda, we do say to each other, "Oh my God, what we're going to do with her today." Denise, you famously had massive humdingers with Carol, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. And I think as well, what really is annoying is that because we're women, people, the press, always like to make out is that we're constantly catfighting and that there's behind the scenes drama. And of course, as you've just said, we are friends who go back a long, long way. But McGiff and I used to have some complete bawling matches because we do disagree on so many things. But not once in nearly 20 years have we ever walked off set and not been friends afterwards. Similarly, Janet Street Porter and I, who I've only worked with for a couple of years, and I was a bit frightened of her at first. But now we have total respect for each other, disagree on a million things, but always end up, having a hug or an elbow bump or whatever we're allowed to do these days. And it makes no difference. We're all very, very supportive of each other.
I think we get quite excited when we're coming from really opposing views, isn't it? It's like we get excited to voice it.
And also, we're not here to drag each other down. Like, that's not the purpose of this show.
No,
from what I see and from what we experience, is that we're here to have an opinion because loads of people sitting at home will have a different opinion. So you're just voicing things that everybody feels.
Exactly.
And you're not trying to downplay somebody else's view or make them feel worse or make them feel like they're wrong.
Yeah.
It's just expressing an opinion. And I do think you're right,
and also,
Denise.
it would be a pretty boring show if we all agreed on absolutely everything. That's the whole point of it.
We agree, Denise.